get monies that come from openly or suspiciously fraudulent sources. We commit not to do that. We also commit to act with political neutrality because this is about humanity. So we have no political identity. We also commit to emphasize workplace safety and waste management in an eco-friendly way. So our research and work that we commit to, we have this as codes of governance. And we commit to abstain from any work that is hazardous to children and indeed to humanity in any way. We have decided also that we will not directly manage or distribute any monies that we raise to avoid any hint of conflict of interest with our roles as trustees. To this end, we have contracted the services of a company called UTL Trust Management Services. If you look just behind the door there, just by the door, you will see their banner. So we already have a contract with them, and they are professionally well known for providing this kind of services. They will manage the funds that we raise. They will utilize the income receipts. We are seeking to raise 10 billion naira, and we manage these monies as a staff, and the income that comes from that money is what we propose to commit to research, so that our capital is not eroded and is preserved. We have appointed an executive director to run the foundation and conduct its day-to-day affairs. He is Dr. Olajide Shobade, and if he's in the audience, may he just rise and take a bow. And we have established a website, www.nimrfoundation.org. So you can go there because we also propose to use it to make ourselves accessible. We propose, if we are successful in this commitment and undertaking, to also contract a reputable accounting institution to audit the funds and to use and to report to you and future contributors at an annual general meeting. While we have developed a plan of action for 2021 to 2023, we have resolved that the type of research that we will fund will be in accordance with all standards of prevailing global ethics on biomedical research, and will be also as advised by the advisory board of the Research Institute itself. So the Research Institute has an advisory board, and they will therefore decide which types of research resources should be committed to. Subject to these ethical and medical guidelines, we also propose to use any funds designated by a donor to fund a specific research of the donor's interest. And if you permit me, let me just quickly speak to that. There are states, the local governments, there are businesses, and all sorts of interest groups who seek knowledge about certain types of things. If they fund specific requests like that, subject to our code of governance and ethical guidelines, we will undertake it through the institute on their behalf. And it is for this purpose, again, I want to publicly thank Dr. Kai Fayemi, because we use the platform of the Governors Forum, which he chairs, to reach out to all the governors in case any state was not only minded to support this foundation and the institute by extension, but also if they had unique medical challenges in their states that they wanted further information and knowledge in the area of research about. Ladies and gentlemen, these are some of the reasons why we have imposed on your time, and I dare say that we have done it with your consent, but there are more things. The story of the COVID-19 outbreak, its management, and the development of vaccines are too well known to bear repeating here. What is important is that Nigeria, Africa's biggest nation, is not playing a leading role when she can. At a time when vaccine production and the number of citizens vaccinated by each nation is now a means of projecting a sovereign might and invariably the economic might, we are dependent when indeed we are not unable. We are not unable because, as the DG has said, Nigeria has outstanding researchers. What is missing is the reason why we are here. Currently, all of the 12 million doses of COVID-19 vaccine reported last week to be available for administration in Nigeria has reached us because of the benevolence of other nations who did many years ago what we are about to do today. They funded research. That's the reason why they can produce vaccines. Can we all imagine if the money we spent on importing vaccines today had been invested in boosting NIMR's capacity since when she was founded? Can we just imagine what will happen? But unfortunately, we can do little, if anything, about yesterday. Yesterday is gone. And the missed opportunities have gone with them. However, we can control today. And we can use today to shape the possibilities for tomorrow. As we acknowledge the effort to create this institute, the opportunity to be torchbearers to take the institute to breathtaking heights in less than one generation now beckons on all of us in this room. So it was Professor Salah, for one man, he raised 5 people. He multiplied by 5. We have raised about 50 people here today in this hall. And if every one of us, 50, becomes an evangelist to a good destination, to create awareness first, to create information, and to share knowledge about the possibilities of medical research, I am sure that we are well on our way. Think of the employment being generated in all the facilities overseas where the vaccines we are importing are being manufactured. And think of how our own hard-earned resources is now keeping other people in employment and keeping businesses going. Think of what we can use that to do for ourselves. My little investigation has revealed that beyond the final products of research on the businesses that will help to birth and sustain, there is a very vibrant economy that has been built on the back of medical research. This economy employs hundreds of thousands of people across the world, if not millions. According to a recent UNESCO report, towards 2030, medical research in the UK employs 250,000 people. In the USA, medical research employs 1.3 million people. In China, it employs 1.5 million people. In Israel, 75,000 people. China, the European Union, Japan, the Russian Federation, and US still account for 72% of researchers worldwide. Just a few countries, and so on and so forth. Africa as a whole hosted 2.4% of the world's medical researchers, and Sub-Saharan Africa, 1.1%. Ladies and gentlemen, I'd like to close by just asking you to think not only of medical research, That is where we want to start. But think of employment. Think of jobs. Because every researcher employs people, requires supplies, and it's just a chain reaction of economic activity translating to medical and paramedical results. But quite aside from that, reflect on what Professor Salako has told us. How cardiovascular disease and other life-threatening ailments have dropped in other jurisdictions that are focused and invested on research. If you think about that, I ask you to also think about living long, just living long and living well. If you think about living well and living long, you are in a good place. You are with the Nimr Foundation. And this is a good reason to evangelize for this cause and to contribute to it. I am very, very clear that if we can raise the 10 billion naira that we set out to raise, Nimr will be able to set out to achieve the mission of our founders. We are not the founders of Nimr, but we are the torchbearers to carry on their good work, to propagate their vision. And we are really, really, really delighted to have you join us to do that. So on behalf of Nimr and on behalf of my fellow trustees, I commend the patriotic, the humanitarian, and the economic cost to you for your consideration and for your very, very generous support. So I thank you once again for your time and for your attention.
Thank you very much. Thank you, able chair. Thank you, the youngest of the trustees. Thank you for good governance and guidance. Well, we heard it there. The ball is in our court for us to make our tomorrow a well-being for every of us, but most importantly, to think of the goodies that will come from this if we together decide to make it functional. Thank you again, my able chair. Your Excellencies, all very distinguished ladies and gentlemen, during the course of that beautiful presentation by His Excellency, the former Governor of Lagos State and Honorable Minister of Works, he said the trustees have embarked on serious advocacy. And perhaps we needed to go to the states, because whatever are the results of today, it must cascade to the states for us to have made an impact in improving the health sector in Nigeria. He was very receptive. I guess I must ask him now as a journalist. My brother, the governor, sir, Your Excellency, did you see the list of the trustees before you gave us the opportunity to speak? Because I'm sure that if he saw the name of our chair, and he will know, and of course, my humble self, as I will not allow him to rest. But we didn't need that. He welcomed us. And one more thing that I need to share with the House is, today I'm a journalist. I can speak on public health because I enjoyed the benevolence of the Centers for Disease Control in America that gave me all the opportunities to learn knowledge and to know everything about public health, so that I can speak and write and present from the point of knowledge. That's part of the fallout if you support Nimr Foundation. At this point, I'd like to invite him, most delightfully, my own brother, His Excellency, the Governor of Ekiti State, Dr. Kayode Faye.
Your Excellency, the captain and chairman of the Nimr Foundation and other trustees of the foundation, Your Excellency, the Governor of Edo State, ably represented by the Honorable Commissioner for Health, my brother Peter, the chairman of this occasion in the Global Bank, representatives of all the invited supporters of this cause, distinguished ladies and gentlemen of the press. Some may wonder why I started my remarks by paying homage to the captain. You know, even in the fraternity of governors, there are elders. And it just so happened that one of the elders is the most junior, the youngest in the incorporated trustees of NIMR. So I thank my brother, the Honorable Minister for Works and Housing, for inviting me to represent my colleagues here. He had already taken the major step by coming to speak to the governors at, I believe, our last meeting with other members of the foundation. And he explained all of what we've had here this afternoon to us. And of course, my colleagues had nothing but support and admiration for the good cause that had been taken up by the foundation on behalf of the Institute of Medical Research, because this is indeed a worthy cause. And I must commend the way Professor Salako and his team, and then the incorporated trustees have gone about this. We know that in our country, sadly, we have a major deficit of trust, particularly in public initiatives. But not only have they put together a stellar team, I can say that unreservedly about the chairman of the foundation. But what I also know of other members of the foundation, Professor Oyegureje, Professor Edibe, Mrs. Makonjola, of course, His Highness, Emir Fortentemi of Kano, and the director of the foundation speaks to transparency, speaks to probity, speaks to credibility, and it is unlikely that you find people who would doubt not just the trustees that have been put in charge of this, but also the manner in which they have conducted the activities of the foundation so far, including choosing an independent manager of the funds in the UTL trustees, as mentioned by the minister. But back to the cause. I think all of us have been, at one point or the other, over the last 18 months of the COVID-19 pandemic, expressed concern and disappointment that we have not lived up to our billing as a country. When people talk about vaccine appetite and talk about vaccine dominance by certain countries, the question that many have asked, and that we have asked consistently in the Governors Forum, and we've brought in leading lights like Professor Yoale Tomori to come and talk to us about this, is why we stopped producing vaccines ourselves in the country. And that's something NIMR was, for just as Professor Salako has mentioned to us. But now, all efforts to get us back to that sort of production has remained in the doldrums. And I think if there's one thing that the pandemic has woken us all up to, it is to not only get to grips with whatever is needed to do this, but also to do it on a commercial scale that will make it available to other Africans so that we can play that role that we've all been adorned with, sometimes with feet of clay giants of Africa. So supporting this cause clearly will enable the Institute of Medical Research to do that which has been very well espoused in the remarks of the DG and the chair of the foundation. Support research, mentor younger academics, and also enable even those of us in the hinterland in states who are interested in improvements in our public health to get to grips with this with the support of NIMR. And that's why my colleagues have made it clear that we must support this cause, support it generously, both at the level of our state, but also as a forum of governments in the country. And that is the pledge I've come to make here. I'm not going to talk figures because I don't think it's necessary. I will share with the chair of the foundation what I've been directed by my colleagues to do. But it is also something that we ourselves will market to other interested players and people from time to time. As chief executive at the state level, we meet a whole range of people. I want to assure you that this is a cause that we will push for as wide as possible to people who we engage, to people who we come across, in order to really ensure that this 10 billion target is not only met, but surpassed. So that we can then start seeing tangible benefits of the work that the NIMR has already promised to do with this support. So I want to thank the trustees, I want to thank the management of the Institute, and all that have been invited to this, and encourage us to support this excellent cause. I don't believe any of us will regret it, and we'll get Nigeria back to that point when the Institute, the West African Institute, as we heard from Professor Salako, started with the yellow fever vaccine, and then went on to do other laudable things before things went pear-shaped. But now, thankfully, the Institute is regaining and reclaiming its space in a manner that can make a fundamental difference in the lives of our people. But I want to thank you for the opportunity of inviting us here, and we look forward to continued engagement with the foundation and the Institute. Thank you.
Thank you, Your Excellency. And, thank you for the commitment that you have shown from day one. And more than anything else, we recognize the fact that you are a man of your words, and we will count on this support going forward. At this point, we'll just relax with a documentary that we have been able to put together. We have the short version, which you will see any moment from now, and we have the broadcast version. We cannot go on air with it because we do not have the money to pay for now. So, but we have the documentary there. So if there's any kind heart who wants to help us put it on air, you can talk to me later. But for now, just have a glimpse, an extract of what this is all about. And we have the live stage of it, so we can enjoy the view.
It's important to understand that at the heart of all what we do is the human being.
And as an indicator begin to decline, you see the impact of a lack of focus, lack of policy attention, lack of funding in critical areas of health and education of people.
Nimr's Foundation is a child of
indirectly supporting government to fund health research. But this time around, funding coming from the private organizations and individuals.
And then helping NIMR to channel those funding or those funds. So those specific activities, that is building capacity and conducting research that will help the country to meet some of its health goals.
funding for research is not compartmentalized, that means every quarter or every year. Able to allow such funding. So our role is just to be to interface with all levels of society, government, non-government, private. That research funding is important. Research funding is good investment. Research funding is good business, and research funding is a good life. Gives an improved quality of life in any society where it takes place.
Every day we face these pressures, and every day we understand that until we begin to look inwards, build our own research and industrial capacities in healthcare and education with the outside world for our companies.
So we need to develop capacity, human capacity for basic research, and then two, develop the infrastructural capacity where these researchers can work and have, some level of comfort in terms of accessing what they need at when due, and then able to generate the relevant information that is needed. Then go over to the next stage of applied research, and then of course come up with the implementation of research.
There are key things we want to do. Three of them. The first one is that number one, we are providing fellowship awards. Fellowship awards mean we want to be able to identify early career investigators and bring them on board and giving, number one, awards for PhDs and medical fellowships. We're doing grantsmanship training and we're doing mentorship.
Research institutions globally have made huge sums of money that has helped to build the health sector of their individual countries. And Nigeria has such potentials in Nimr.
So we have to understand that nobody's going to come and set up priorities for us. However, they do recognize that there are potential for making money from finding solutions to our problems. So one of the things we have to do as NAMA is to set our research agenda to be focused on the problems of Africa that are not receiving enough attention, and then try to attract the funding for that research.
And we are much more than many other areas because research finds solutions to problems, especially health problems. And health research is perhaps one of the research that has contributed most to human development. And therefore, countries must necessarily fund research generally, but health research in particular.
It's also important to say that the Nimr Foundation will engage with media, and we have a robust health and science reporters in Nigeria that will be able to translate findings of Nimr into the public domain for them to have a clear understanding of what we are saying.
In the last few years, Nimr has become, when Nimr's name is mentioned, is Nigerian with excellence. Now, Nimr is coming out with a foundation, Nimr Research Foundation. I'm sure if you listen to the board of trustees, you will know that we are coming out with a good product, a product that will promote innovation, a product that will build capacity of future Nigeria to be able to be internationally competitive.
A country is as good as the research and the way it's able to address its own health questions.
The base to support research, either for social development or for business interests. Whichever way they want, they can always get.
Healthcare can be a vital contributor to national development, and that's what we are all about.
Whatever gives health should become a priority, because it is only a healthy herd of people that can build the Nigeria of our dreams, or Africa of our dreams.
All of us Nigerians see a resurgent Nimr 44 years after it was created as a very, very huge opportunity, not only to deliver a better quality of life and life expectancy, but also to expand the economy, to open up sectors that are not yet opened up in a productive environment. This is an immense opportunity not to be missed.
Thank you very much. I apologize for the lack of audio, but this is an extract, and technology keeps improving daily, but what we hope to show is a 30 minutes documentary, which we hope that media houses, particularly the broadcast media houses, both the traditional and online, will be able to incorporate. But we can also find the full length on the website after this event. So I thank you very much, and we'll move on. The applause was not very encouraging, so maybe was there a message in it? Thank you so much. Well, at this point, we all know him and what he stands for. I'd like to bring online, who's been waiting all morning, His Highness Muhammad Sanusi II, 14th Emir of Kano and Grand Khalifa of Tijaniya Oda in Nigeria. Your Highness, please can you come online? Can we bring His Highness online, please?
All right.
We have become a global village. He's at the moment not with us in the country, but we saw him earlier online.
I'm here. I'm here actually.
Thank you. Good morning.
So, thank you, Ms. Makanjola. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can. Yes, I can.
Okay. Okay. So, I think they're trying to get me on the screen.
Your video, sir.
My video is on.
We can see your video, sir. But we can hear you, sir.
You can't see my video?
Yes, sir. Okay,
Can you
sir. We
see?
can see you now, sir.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Thank you. So, can I continue?
Yes, sir.
So let me begin by giving my best regards to His Excellency Governor Fayemi, Chairman of the Governors Forum, and my brother, the Chairman of the Board of Trustees, Fashola, and other members, and also join the Chairman in thanking all the guests who have taken time to be with us today. I would like to add my vote to the Chairman to thanking Fayemi for his leadership of the Governors Forum and for his support for all issues around development in the country. And we look forward to strong cooperation with state governments because research has to be supported by government for it to succeed. That's been the story all over the world. Let me apologize also to everyone for not being able to be there physically. I tried my best. I'm also at the moment a student carrying out postgraduate research in London, and so my time isn't mine. So I have to join you from the UK. Everything that needs to be said about this foundation, ladies and gentlemen, has been said by the DG, it's been said by the chairman, it's been said in the documentary. As we launch the foundation, I think I'll just add three minor dimensions that we need to stress. The first is that most of the research that will be done will be driven by the National Research Agenda. If you look at research agendas in the world, they focus on the problems of the immediate and recent time. I mean, look at how quickly we found a cure for COVID and how long it's taken us to look for a cure for malaria or for a cure for sickle cell anemia and other diseases that are Afrocentric. So it is hoped that this foundation will help us fast track research on problems that bedevil us as a country and us as a continent. And that is extremely important. We the people today priority on that should be our priorities. So within the research priorities set by our dispensation, we hope to promote research. The second element, which I think we need to stress, I think the chairman just forgot to mention this, is that we have a focus on gender. We're hoping that this foundation will help encourage female researchers, female medical doctors, female academics, and therefore, and this is one of the major objectives of the SDG and development in general. So the final thing is to assure everyone, as the chairman has done, that we as members of the Board of Trustees will work on the basis of the highest quality advice in identifying research areas to support and we should try to establish the highest standards and integrity and transparency in the governance and the management of these resources. I'm aware that you've been here for a long time. I'm not going to take too much of your time. The most important item is what comes next, which is the launch of the fund itself. I urge generously, I wish all of us a successful rest of the afternoon and successful journeys back home. I thank the MR for the opportunity and the honor to serve on this board. And I thank the chairman, Governor Fashola, for his leadership and for all the work he's done leading up to this day. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Your Highness. We'll now move to the crux of the matter. While we are all gathered and have been so invited, I would transfer the microphone to the chair, who would do justice to this next session.
Your Excellencies, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, you see how the Board of Trustees always manage to ask me to do this very pleasant work of asking you to dig deep now into your pockets. What I propose to do, without taking any more time, really is to just give some priority, if you permit me to do so, to the first 3 or 4 people who arrived here, everybody here before me. And I think we should reward their punctuality to have the first bite, so that they can then get on with their other affairs for the day. And after that, I will just ask all the other representatives to choose in what order they want to make it. So I'm going to ask first the representative of the Governor of Edo, the Honorable Commissioner, to decide if she wants to say something, and then if she has some money for us, because we come cap in hand. Unfortunately, I don't have a cap. Maybe I'll borrow Idi Hong's cap or Dr. Fayemi's cap. And let me say that Dr. Fayemi has already whispered in my ear. He said he was not going to say it there. He has whispered to me, and it is heavy.
Your Excellencies, the Governor of Ekiti State and Chairman of the Nigerian Governors Forum, Dr. John Kayode Fayemi, the former Governor of Lagos State, and Honorable Minister of Works and Housing, as well as the Chairman, Board of Trustees of the NIMR Foundation, Mr. Baba Tunde Fayoshe, SAN. So sorry, Fashola, SAN. That was a slip. The chair of this launching and fundraising event, Mr. Peter Amango, Your Royal Highness, Mohammed Sanusi II, CON, the 14th Emir of Kano, members of the Board of Trustees and Management Committee of NIMR, distinguished benefactors here present, distinguished members of the press. I represent the Governor of Edo State at this occasion, His Excellency, Mr. Godwin Obaseki. We are glad to be present at this epoch-making event as the Nigerian Institute of Medical Research Foundation is formally launched. NIMR, as we formally call it, is the apex medical research organization in Nigeria, charged with the responsibility to advance basic, applied, and operational medical research. Given the pedigree of the trustees of the NIMR Foundation, ably led by His Excellency Mr. Babatunde Fashola, SAN, the pedigree of the management committee, and of the leadership and staff of NIMR, ably led by Professor Babatunde Lawal Salako, we are confident that the NIMR Foundation will deliver on its mandate. We look forward to celebrating many wins as the enabling funding environment which this foundation will provide results in the promotion of innovation, development, and commercialization of homegrown medicines, vaccines, and technologies. We also look forward to seeing human capacity being developed in this regard. We look forward to a new landscape in medical research in Nigeria, where NIMR will drive sustainable improvement in public health in ways that will be palpable and tangible to all in healthcare institutions, in academic health institutions, as well as to the common person in every state in Nigeria. I have the mandate of the governor of my state to pledge 50 million to this foundation. 50 million naira. Thank you very much.
The next person in order of my assessment of arrival will be Mr. Akinfemiwa.
Thank you very much.
Your Excellency, the Governor of Ekiti State and the Chairman, Nigerian Governors Forum, Mr. John Kawai, Your Excellency, Mr. Babatunde Fashola, the Honorable Minister of Works and Housing, and the Chairman of the NIMR Foundation, members of the Board of Trustees of the NIMR Foundation, distinguished ladies and gentlemen. I stand here this afternoon to represent Mr. Femi Otedola, CEO, the chairman of Renewable Power PLC, who sends his warm wishes on the launch of the NIMR Foundation. He fully identifies with the foundation and recognizes the role that this foundation shall play in the advancement of medical research to stem the plague of public diseases that ravage us. Most importantly, he also recognizes the potential of the foundation to curb the brain drain in the health sector. To this end, I can confirm and affirm that is in discussions with His Excellency, Mr. Babatunde Fashola, the chairman of the foundation, and he shall work out the modalities of being an integral part of the foundation now and in the future. For me, this is a logical project that we all need to bring to full implementation and is fully committed to this cause. In conclusion, and in my own personal capacity as an industry captain, I believe that we should also harness the power of the private sector in bringing this together. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Please keep the applause going. They are talking to me. It's getting bigger. So let me quickly bring to the podium the representative of Chief Adire Makotola, and if I'm mistaking the other one right now, please pardon me. Where is he? Yes, I know she's there. So, Dr. Mrs. Samira Lobo Makotola.
Good afternoon, distinguished ladies and gentlemen. My name is Dr. Samira Makinjola. I'm here representing Mr. Remy Makinjola, who couldn't be here today. Mr. Remy Makinjola wishes his best, and he would like to make a donation of 10 million naira towards this cause. Mr. Adere Makinjola hopes that such donation will help push research and development in Nigeria as we need of today. Thank you.
Please keep the applause going. 10 million naira is not easy. But what you might not recall, what needs to be refreshed in our memories is that it was Chief Rema Kodiola who served as the chairman of the Lagos Security Trust Fund when we inaugurated it. And you remember how much money what that fund did eventually in helping to restore security officials in Lagos. We thank you very much. And he has said today, and I think I can say this in public, that not only will he contribute today, he will contribute frequently and from time to time. So this is the start dose. I'm sure we will get booster doses. Well, I think that I am going now in the direction of Chief Kessitin and Debutu, and I will be inviting, but he's represented by two people, Dr. Olonode and Areoye first. So that's how big the package is. It's two people who are delivering it. Thank you, Your Excellency. Can I call Dr. Olonode the bearer of what we do last year? So please, how do we pass?
The chairman of the Governance Forum, Dr. Fayemi, and the Honorable Minister of Works, and standing on existing protocol. My name is Abela Olorode, and Secretary's daughter. I'm a medical doctor by profession. I've worked closely with my mom, Auntie Muji, I recognize you. I do see Professor Digby. Yes. So they're my people, so they are in my constituency. So I'm very comfortable at the moment. Let me start by reading one greetings from my father, Sakesi Jandubutu, who I'd love to be here. We know he's an elderly man, he turned 86 recently. And we told him to sit at home more while we do his footwork for him. His heart and his spirit is very much with you at the moment. Let me also state that he's very keenly involved. You know, he has a cassette in Adebukoma Adebutu Foundation, and the two major pillars of this foundation are education and health. So it's something that is invested over the last 20 years, and it's something that is well grounded in. I also want to really good news that just on Tuesday, the 2nd of November, the Research Center of Adebutu Foundation, the groundbreaking took place at the College of Medicine in Canada. Please give me a round of applause. It is my father, I'm very proud of him, I'm very proud of him. What he has said is that he is always a continuous giving. And although we give a talking at the moment, but we were always expecting later. So humbly is putting at the moment 10 million. Thank you, Mr. President.
Please keep it going. Because when Chief Adebutu commits, he doesn't withdraw. And you know that it will be a continuous giving, as Dr. Lawrence said. Thank you so very much for your time and for your patience with us today. Well, let me move it a little forward and hand it now to the representative of Boa Group, also a stakeholder in many rights, former minister himself, and Dr. Ali Idihon. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much, Your Excellency. Your Excellency, Governor Fayed, the Chairman of Governors Forum, the Chair of this very important occasion, and former Governor of Lagos State, and Honorable Minister of Works and Housing, our senior brother. We are all very proud of you, sir. Let me say and stand on the existing protocol. Sir, let me, as a doctor, also thank Governor Fashola for accepting to host this program. I happen to also supervise this agency in 2007, 2009, up to 2010. I know the breadth of funding from government, and we can't go anywhere as a nation with the budgeting envelope from the Federal Ministry of Health for you to achieve anything. So I think for you to accept this responsibility and the commitment you bring into it, sir, I think is highly commendable, and thank you very much. I am here representing Abdul Samad Rabi, the chairman of World Group, and also the founder of Abdul Samad Rabi Africa Initiative, a $100 million foundation annually that he has so far done a lot in the country for humanitarian. And also, of the three key interventions he do is health, education, and social development. So far, so good. He has done so much apart from what he has done during the COVID interventions. He said I should sincerely apologize for Your Excellency for his inability to be here personally. He is out of the country, and also assure you that he will always be there for you when you need him. In the first interim, he said I should make a pledge of 50 million naira on his behalf, and assure you that subsequently he will be giving you more support for this very large initiative. Thank you very much, sir.
Keep the applause going. Keep it going. You see, it is so very important to get the commitment, and that's what matters most. And once the doors are open and we demonstrate what we can do, I'm sure that we will see multiples of this sort. And it's even important that it is coming from the foundation, like the Adebutu Foundation, the Goa Foundation, and this is the network really, the foundations to support one another to one cause. So let me move it forward now and call on the representative of Aliko Dangote, Zoela Yusuf. Aha. Let me bring the mic to you. You see, when you have Boa, then you have Aliko, then you have cement, then you have money.
Thank you, sir. Good morning, everybody. Excellency Governor Faye, Professor Sadako. I really hear it from my boss, Ali Dangote, who couldn't be here with us today. He's out of the country. So he asked me to come represent him this morning. So as Professor Sadako has mentioned, we, as the foundation, have already supported some of the work that Nimr has been doing. And so we will definitely support the work of the foundation. What we haven't worked out yet is the amount. So I can't make a pledge right now, but as for our past track record, we can be guaranteed that we will have a sizable contribution. And we're also contributing to the conference to group this next week. Here in York. So thank you very much.
Thank you so very much. Keep that applause going, because I spoke to Raji Dangote out of the country on some other equally important matters, and I'm sure when he comes back, we will hear from him. I will bring in the rear now with our chairman's organization. And if Elias Igabikwa is still here with us, where is he? Well, I will ask the chairman to speak for his organization. And also, he has spoken for the occasion.
Well, there's nothing much to say again. I'll just whisper the information for Global Bank to the chairman of the board of trustees. You know, as bankers, you can't. So thank you very much.
Please give him a round of applause. He's hefty. He's very, very hefty. And trust me if I say so. Now, I think that it is important to unveil somebody, a group that I spoke about, the UTL Trust Management Services. I think the representative is here, Mrs. Ayola, who should be step forward and say something. Maybe they can also give us money or tell you how they are going to spend the money.
Good afternoon, Your Excellencies, distinguished ladies and gentlemen. On behalf of UTL Trust Management Services, I'll say we have indeed been supporting NIMR during the COVID pandemic. We were one of the few corporates that supported them. And we promise to continue to support you and to ensure that we maximize returns on all the donations and pledges that have been made today. Thank you very much.
Thank you all very much. So now, for those who are in the house who also want to support our cause, we have a few minutes before we have the curtain call and bring this event to what I think should be glorious end. So I will hand it back to Trustee Mrs. Muji Makodola to take us towards the closing steps. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Please, an applause there. A very loud one. We appreciate all the donors. We know that this has to do with these times of economic crunch. You have so generously donated. We are very pleased with your donation, and we're happy for the pledge to continue to do that until we get to the promised land. He's young, he's dynamic, and that's what the trust fund or this trustee believes in, that we must also build capacity in country for country development. And the young man who will speak to us next has done so well within a very short time, having been the captain of the ship of NIMR Foundation. Please welcome with me the Executive Director, Dr. Shubande, who will move the program.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you, everyone. I think if Good afternoon once again. I think this is well, I put up something this morning. I said this is the day that the Lord has made. And so, to a large extent, we've had a very good outing. So, please permit me to stand on the system protocol by saying, Your Excellency, Executive Governor of the State, Governor Kalifani, the Executive Governor of Edo State, ably represented by the Honorable Commissioner for Health, Professor Obey Akore, the Chairman of NIMR Foundation, Governor, well, let me start about the Chairman of this occasion, Mr. Peter Amango, distinguished guests, honorable members of the press, gentlemen of the press, please permit me to stand on the existing protocol that has already been established. I feel honored and proud to have the opportunity to present the vote of thanks on this special day. It has been a good one. Today marks the beginning and also an end. It is the end of a planning journey of 6 months, putting together and seeing things from afar, how today will look like. And if you go back in time to 2018, when the NIMR Foundation itself was conceptualized by NIMR, that's the Nigerian Institute of Medical Research itself, we have come a long way. It's also the beginning of a journey which people have spoken to excellently well during the course of this launching and the fundraising that was done, that we are embarked on a journey on building and expanding capacity for translational research in Nigeria, and with a special focus on homegrown innovation in Nigeria, because that's a competitive advantage for most countries around the world now. We must give thanks, first and foremost, to God Almighty, who has made today possible, and who has brought every one of us here, and by whom we will continue to exist. To the chairman of today's occasion, Mr. Peter Mambo, we want to say a very big thank you for honoring our call without hesitation. We are really glad to have you here. Thank you for your time and generous support and donation for the foundation. Governor Kyle Fayen, the Executive Governor of Ekiti State and the Chairman of the Nigerian Governors Forum, I want to say a very big thank you to you for your kind consideration and the audience you granted us in speaking with all the governors of the 36 states of the Federation and the FCC when we called. And it was at that meeting that we were able to do all of this, and we are seeing the impact of that. Much more importantly, thank you for the generous donations which you have rallied from the Nigerian Governors Forum and the consideration of each state going forward in making endowment for their respective states so as to propagate the agenda of expanding the capacity for translational research across the length and breadth of the Federation. I want to thank all the captains of industry who have donated here today. We have their names, and I want to say a very big thank you. To our indefatigable and selfless board members, I say a big thank you. I've had the pleasure of working closely with each and every one of you over the past 6 months, and I can attest to the immense diversity of competencies, social capital, and most importantly, excellent spirit you all bring to the table. I have on many occasions seen from afar and near, and been in other meetings with the chairman of the foundation, Mr. Babatunde Raji here. And I've always thought he's a true servant leader, and I think everyone has attested to that today. So I want to give a very big round of applause. Thank you for being the rallying point for the team and the immense sacrifice you continue to make despite your busy schedule. To His Highness, the 14th Emir of Kano, Mohammed Sanusi, you wow me every time with your simplicity, grace, and wealth of understanding of life and humanity. And we say a big thank you. Thank you for being the social compass and guide on the board. Professor Oyebure is a man of many talents and one of the most brilliant minds we have in the health sector in Nigeria and globally. Thank you for your unique understanding of health systems and how best to achieve our goal of self-sufficiency and global competitiveness in health. Mrs. Mojima Kajala wears many dailies, not cap, dailies, though she's without one today. But I said if you want to find her, you can meet her at any time at the intersection of media, public health, and gender equality and mainstreaming. So please, a big round of applause for her. Professor Idibe is the gentleman, perfect gentleman, no frills, and very unassuming, and who has accomplished so much in the healthcare space, and he's contributed so much to the board. So I really want you to please help me give a big round of applause to all the board of trustees of Nimr Foundation. To the DG and CEO of Nimr itself, Professor Babatunde Raji, thank you for the push, thank you for the calls, and thank you for the passion for this foundation. This is your brainchild, and it is alive and well. Thank you very much. To all the management and staff of Nimr, you deserve a special mention, and I think I also mentioned Professor Izinji, Oliver Izinji, who just came into the room. He's been very much involved in the conceptualization of this. Professor Olado Akwale, Alaji Yunus Azazao, NNI, Dr. Musa, Dr. David, thank you so much for all you do. To all the gentlemen of the press here present, we want to say thank you. You are very important in all of this conversation we are having, because as Mrs. Mojima Kobiola has made mention of, the media is very important in driving the national health research agenda and ensuring that, healthcare is always on the front burner. So we'll say a very big thank you. I think I will leave here today by just, the chairman, Nimr Foundation, has already mentioned this, but I will quote what Wade Isaac Skelton, a former US congressman, once said, modern medical advances have helped millions of people live longer, healthier lives. We owe this improvement to decades of investment in medical research, and I think we've already said a lot about that. We cannot but invest in healthcare. And I heard something during the presentation that we did to the Nigerian Governors Forum a while back. And the chairman asked a question, a two-part question, and I'm posing it here. He said, if not us, then who? And if not now, then when? And I must say that the day has come, and we are getting on that journey of actually expanding the capacity for translational research and the focus on homegrown innovation in medical space. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you once again for your presence, your generous donation, and your support for Nimr Foundation. Thank you.
Yes. Wow, what a day. It's been a wonderful day. Can you please give yourself all a round of applause? What this has done and what this has said is that we can do it in country, build a solid foundation for medical research in Nigeria. And of course, I'd like to acknowledge this specially, please, the President of the Nigerian Guild of Editors is not with us here, but he's been monitoring, and he sent in a representative, Mr. Steve Wosu. Wosu is the editor-in-chief of the Express unit, and I'm sure that we are going to get a robust outing from this medium. Having said that, God has been wonderful. I can go to sleep now. I have not slept in 2 weeks. Not when you work with my chairman and the young ED, and of course Professor Salako. It's been a wonderful day. Shall we please all rise in your own special way? Thank the Creator, and then we'll have a national anthem. Before then, lunch is served. This way. Thank you. Please, lunch is served, and the ushers will direct you. Please enjoy the meal, and yeah, you have the account details at the back of the program. And yes, lunch is served to my immediate left here, and to my extreme right at the end, at the back of the hall. Have a wonderful day in Lagos. Thank you for making history. We will please have a group photograph. May I invite us for a group photograph? We'll need to document it. We need a group photograph. Yes. For the records. Thank you. Where are the trustees? Prof, the trustees.
Just to I join it. Remove the mask.